If you're using Class Notebook with your students, this is just a little quick tip about using the collaboration space. So you can see here, the collaboration space is something that is automatically created when you create your Class Notebook. And the collaboration space is essentially an area that everybody who is part of your notebook has access to. It differs from the content library, and the content library is read-only. It's that digital filing cabinet that students can view content and they can move content over to their own notebook, but they can't alter anything. Whereas the collaboration space, they can add things to it, they can write on things, etc. So everybody has full access to it. At the beginning of the year, you might want to shut down the collaboration space until you establish guidelines as to how you're going to use it, if you're going to use it at all. It is a good area to use if you're going to be having group projects where you want the students to have a common area to share their work, and there is a way to delineate specific permissions within the collaboration space so that only certain students have certain rights to certain parts of the collaboration space. But at the beginning, you might just want to have this read-only so that nobody can start inserting pages or writing in this collaboration space without your knowledge. The way to do that is once you're in your notebook, you're going to come over to the Class Notebook toolbar, and you're going to see these icons on the right over here. And when you rest your cursor on them, you'll get an idea as to what exactly that icon is for. So we're going to come over to this one here that says Manage Notebooks. And when you click Manage Notebooks, that's actually going to open up your web browser and bring you right over to the specific area in Office 365 that you're going to be able to do this. So once you have logged in with your Office 365 account information, if you are prompted to do so, it will bring you directly to the notebook that you want to manage. So you can see here, this is the notebook name that I was just at, and here are all my student sections. And you're going to see over here where it says Lock Collaboration Space. By default, every time you create a class notebook, the collaboration space is open to everybody. So if you don't want students to have access to this right away, particularly at the beginning of the year, it's a good idea to go ahead and click on Locked. Now, students will not be able to do anything in the collaboration space. It will be visible, but nobody will be able to write or create pages or do anything without your knowledge. If at some point you do decide to use the collaboration space, you can unlock it, which is sort of gives everybody the access, but you also have this area that says collaboration space permissions, which gives specific students permission to view and edit certain sections. So you can create sections in the collaboration space and only designate certain students to have access to it. Just so you can see what that looks like when you click on that option, you're going to be able to create a section in the collaboration space, very similar to the way you create sections in the content library. So let's say I want to call this Research Group 1. And this is going to be a section in collaboration space for only certain students to have access to. Now, I only have one student in this notebook, but if this was a full class, I could check off as many students as I want, and those students only that I check would have the ability to read and edit content in their designated section only. There is an option down here that says give read-only access to students in the class. So if you wanted other students in the class to be able to view the Research Group 1's content but not actually make changes, you could check this off as well. So I've created one section and I am giving access to the student or students that I want to have access to it, and then I can click Create. And you can repeat this process as many times as you need if you were going to separate your class into various groups and give them common place to do all of their work. So this is just a little brief summary on how to use and execute the collaboration space and how to lock it down if you don't want students to have access to it quite yet when you start your new school year.